This is my Jerry Jones Neptune 12-string. He made Dan Electro-style guitars out of Nashville. He retired early this year. I like this Neptune. It was a variation he came up with during a lawsuit about the Dan Electro shape and look, a lawsuit which he won because the man who had the Korean rights didn't have the rights. But anyway, he made this in the interim, and I like that it doesn't look exactly like a Dan Electro. But I love Jerry Jones guitars, all of them, because they're like Dan Electros with the beautiful lipstick case pickups and the cheap, hollow. They were always made out of cheap materials, but with this great sound, a lot of personality. And it's also one of the speediest 12 strings to play. I've played 12 strings since high school and played a little Rickenbacker in high school, but never played a 12 string that played as easily and it sounded as glassy and delicious as the Jerry Jones. So I play this every night with Wilco, particularly on songs like I'm Trying to Break Your Heart or Box Full of Letters, Camera, Pot Kettle Black. I'm playing this guitar, but it's just, you know the sound. It's just, I usually put my compressor on and just really beef up the sound. And I forgot I broke my fingernail. It's a great guitar. Well, I'll show you the next one, which is the weirdest Jerry Jones guitar. I'm dying to know the story of this guitar, but I saw it online. It's a Jerry Jones double neck, a Longhorn, but a very unusual one. It had to have been made for either somebody famous or someone he knew, because it's all white, which I've never seen him do before. I've never seen 12-string and baritone neck, which is what this is. Extremely weird. It's one of one. It has inlay. You can get a shot of the inlay, planet Earth, cloud. My favorite, God and Adam's hands from the Sistine Chapel copy, the sun rising. It's very kind of, I guess, a little bit hippie, tribal. But who wanted a 12-string baritone double neck, right? It's got the wood bridges. My man Woody in Minneapolis, who designed the Mastery Bridge I was showing you, hand carved it so it's totally in tune. And I bought it really as a collector of Jerry Jones, and then realized that we had recorded a song on the new Wilco record that I had no idea how to play live because of the overdubs. It had a low tune guitar part and 12-string, and that I could just switch back and forth on this guitar, but I didn't buy the guitar with that in mind. So it's a song called Dawned on Me, and I'll just show you what I do. As I play a little boost, I play the baritone riff, which is the low tune guitar thing that goes. And then I switch. And I go back and forth, I solo, and I have this other line I play that's like. This, and then I go switch back again, and I play it live every night. Who knew? I didn't know. Jerry's retired, and he's not answering his email anymore, so I'm dying to know the story. If anybody knows the story of who Jerry built this guitar for, I'm dying to get the mystery solved.
Maybe we can help you out.
This is a Japanese crown guitar that my friend Norton Wisdom in Los Angeles painted for me. He paints live while music happens. A lot of people across the country know his work. I've known him since 1980. He was painting live with a band called Panic back then, but I got him into this project I was doing with Mike Watt and Stephen Perkins and Willie Waldman called Banyan. And so he started painting on stage with us, and he's just was bugging me to let him paint a guitar. And so here it is, and I just gave him total carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. He always writes "No War" on everything, and always wears a T-shirt that says "No War." The back of the neck is really hilarious. hopefully I won't get too confused. I'm just starting to figure out where to play this. I'm going to put some different pickups in it, I think, though, to give it a little extra oomph. But it's just got the Norton iconography in spades, religious and sexual and iconic art. These are his drawings, all this stuff. And there it is. This is a 60s Hopf guitar, Hopf, from Germany. Everyone's intrigued by this guitar. It's very luxurious of me to be able to play these guitars live. I record with guitars like this quite often for their weird tonal qualities, and don't bring them out on tour. I just have to not have that many guitars. But now, of course, in Wilco, I'm completely enabled, since Jeff has twice as many guitars as me on tour. And people love the look of this guitar, as do I. So I'm playing it on Art of Almost, which I'll show you why, and on a song called Capital City on the new record. I also play this on the album Wilco, the album, on a song called Country Disappeared. Country Disappeared, you can hear this nasally tone. So it has this kind of, that really throaty, nasally sound. But also on Art of Almost, I play behind the bridge. It's an F sharp minor to E progression. I play this pattern that goes. So no other guitar has those notes behind the bridge. My Jazz Masters, I specifically have the bridges at certain heights, so I know what notes these are, and I use them all the time. And in this guitar, there's so much string length, as you can see, that there's actually different notes than most normal guitars that have strings behind the bridge. And that's one of the qualities I look for in most of my electrics, is this string bit, not just this. And that's the story of, and of course, typical of German guitars of the period, like also Hofner's, all these roller controls rather than knobs, which gets really confusing. Just all this stuff going on. It all works on this guitar. I think I got this, I can't remember if I got this from Mike's Music in Cincinnati or not, but they have a lot of nice, funny, what I call ugly duckling guitars, and in addition to their usual stuff. So here it is, the Hopf Telstar Standard. It looks kind of like a laminate, you can see, but it's not. It's like, look at this wood grain here, and how you get splinters on this thing, basically. It's like a baseball bat, but it's light. But it's pretty fun, right? Really weird.
What are you using for the strap lock?
Oh, these are just from Grolsch bottles. The little Euro-style, what do you call that apparatus that just pops off, and they have this as a washer on there. And actually, Grolsch got wind of this and started sending us beer at one point, so we could get a lot more of these. But they work pretty well. It makes it harder for the guitar to fall off, which seems to happen to me all the time. This is, embarrassingly enough, also the Nels Cline signature strap that Soldier Straps made, that they were selling at our merch table with my signature on them. But basically, you can go online and design your own straps. And the woman that owns the company was getting response for this design that I had with the hearts that I chose. And so she decided I should try to market it. They don't make them anymore, I don't think. It was a limited edition. But I still can order them and get her to make me some of these. I think all my straps except one are Soldier straps.